Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mobafire Challenger Series. We're going to get into our fourth game of the night, and it's going to be a pretty good one. New World Eclipse taking on Complexity Academy. I am Rapid, joined by our special guest super commentator here to carry me to victory. It is Team Coast's Nintendo Dex.
Hello.
All right, so you guys are going to be in the lobby for at least this game, and going to get things underway. So we'll have the power of the young Josh Atkins analysis behind my my somewhat derpy play-by-play. So what more could you possibly ask for this wonderful game of League of Legends? So bans coming out already. No surprise there. Aatrox and Renekton banned out against Quas. This is actually a little bit ridiculous. Okay, so I guess I should probably start things out by asking you, Nintendo, have you guys like scrimmed against either one of these teams, or have you played against the players in solo queue before?
Yeah, I think everybody, even some LCS players, including myself, are very familiar with Mr. NWE Quas. He's a very scary top laner, and I know Zion has a lot of conversations with him because he is an absolute terror up there. It's no surprise he's getting plenty of target bans.
Yeah, target bans coming out towards him, and really when you think about the target bans for NWE, they're kind of spread out there. I mean, they're going up against, keep in mind, it's NWE versus Complexity Academy. They have a little bit of a new roster. You can see Dragon Rouge in the top lane, Doom Trobo jungle, that's all well and good, but ZZ Legendary and DKBnet, a little bit new to the rosters. So the Vayne ban against DKBnet, the guy's a monster on pretty much any AD carry. Coming over from Team Aware Gaming over here on Complexity Academy, actually been meshing pretty well. So be interesting to see what they want to put him on this game. But it's not going to be a Vayne, and no Jarvan for Doom Trobo is a pretty big target ban as well. Interesting to see Shouster's Gragas banned out. He's been pretty solid on Jace so far in this tournament. So we'll have to see where the Jace pick goes, if that is what NWE are going to go for. But just pretty solid bans out right now. Just waiting for the first picks to come in.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is an Elise here. After all the target bans, a lot of strong champions still open. There's Elise up, Shen up, Twisted Fate, even Thresh really, pretty popular pick, and all of it's up on the board right now. See if anybody wants to grab it quick. And Elise is already taken. It's no surprise.
Yeah, I mean, at least saw a little bit of a nerf, but I guess beforehand it was like, okay, well, there's a few champions that you first pick and first ban, and after Elise got a nerf, she's like, it's almost like she's been first picked more. Is there any reason for that? Is she just like super popular in this meta?
I think more people are catching on to how strong she is as a jungler and how versatile she is as kind of a ambiguous pick. You can throw her in the top lane or the jungle. Not really being picked as support anymore, but she's a fantastic jungler with what people want to accomplish lately, which is mainly, objective control, early sieging. She can kind of do it all, even diving, using her spiderlings to tank, and repelling out of aggro. So she kind of does everything. You can build her kind of tanky. I just think she's a really high utility pick. That's just too good to put down for a first pick.
All right, so first pick will be that Elise for NWE, but that does mean two picks going the way of Complexity Academy. We just got done casting Curse Academy, so I'm sure I'm going to mess that up at some point or another. We actually had Curse Academy play Complexity Academy yesterday, and that was fun. I should have brought Nintendo in there so that at least he could console me for saying Complexity Curse Academy backwards. It's
I bet the tongue twisters were very complex, I'm sure.
I love you. You're the best. So we're going to get into picks and bans again. The first couple picks are going to be Twitch Zyra for that bottom lane. I think that's actually something I've seen Coast run before. Is there any particular synergy? Is it just going for lane domination?
I think Twitch is kind of coming into his own as a popular pick right now. In like week 5 or so, when Draven saw the nerfs, people kind of weren't sure what was the lane dominator, and that's why we've been seeing more Vayne. A lot of stuff's been picked up, Ashe even. And the reason we didn't really see that before was kind of Draven bullied it out. But now that's kind of off the board. It's kind of up for grabs right now. And honestly, Twitch is probably one of the best AD carries, the most solid right now.
Yeah, has a really strong early game with the venom stacking and the ability to just expunge burst people. It's really going to be interesting to see how they want to counter that out. One way to do that is just picking up Twisted Fate so you can't stealth initiate or stealth away in team fights. It's going to be locked in there, and Promisiri going to give that one over to Shousters, and it's kind of interesting to see, really scary target bans for Quas, yes, but Shousters is no slouch on his Twisted Fate, and then going to give Miwi or JD Wu his support Fiddlesticks this game as well. Let's see the return of tank jungle Fiddlesticks. Who would ever do such a thing?
That just sounds ridiculous, Rapid. Where do you get this stuff?
I would probably actually never work in competitive play, so
Never.
that's actually probably not what we're going to see. But there could be a Nocturne coming out. DK BNet might be locking that one in for Doom Trouble. He is a Jarvan main, but we'll have to watch out. Yeah, locking that in, and a Zed pick for ZZ Legendary.
And I just saw DK BNet switches summoners from barrier to cleanse, and I think against a Fiddlesticks, a TF, and Elise, that's a wise decision, because he'd be pretty much CC locked if he were not to take that with of course the gold card, the fear, and the cocoon. Kind of long CC coming out early game, but that might hurt his laning phase a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if they opt for a 2v1 because they won't be taking that barrier, especially with the Fiddlesticks bully lane. So this might be a game where Complexity Academy wants to ditch the 1v1 heads up, especially against a player like Quas, and that's very scary. I don't know a lot of top laners that want to 1v1 Quas.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of duo lanes that want to 2v1 him either. He's turned around 2v1 lanes several times for NWE and really just kind of given them that advantage. And when you think about Dragon Rouge, he's not really that sort of 2v1 monster, at least not on whatever champion he's going to be playing. But with the last pick here for NWE, they still do have that top lane pick available. It's going to be a Tryndamere. I don't know how this works. I've never seen Quas play this one, but I think yesterday we saw Denial Esports play, and I don't think Inox had ever played a ranked game as top lane Jarvan, but he went 9-0 and 7. So, new picks across the board. Not surprises that are working out badly.
Yeah, it's kind of a clever pick here with Tryndamere. Oh, and I've been informed that I revealed summoners. I'm sorry, I forgot that can be heard, and that's supposed to be covered up until Champion Select's over. But as I was saying, with the Tryndamere pick, kind of a clever pick, because usually the hardest counter to that is a Renekton, but Complexity kind of banned that against himself, so he feels safe enough to blind pick Tryndamere into whatever top laner, which looks like it's going to be Zach.
It's a fairly manly decision, and with that Zach picked up, it's kind of going to be the battle of the snowballs. It's like if you get far enough ahead on Zach, then there's really not going to be a way Tryndamere can kill you. But a lot of Tryndameres nowadays are just focusing on split pushing. It's really, really rough to stop that from happening. So Quas, it's really rough to kind of stop Tryndamere from getting the CS that he needs. But how do you think that lane's going to work? I mean, I know traditionally you're a jungler. Do you have a harder time ganking a Tryndamere because he spins away, or is there any sort of secret to that pick for NWE?
As I said earlier, I think 2v1 is going to be what Complexity wants to do, but if that doesn't go off, I think Elise will be able to have a field day with these ganks. Oh, no, I didn't meet my Smurf. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty easy to gank a Zac, and Tryndamere's going to probably be able to kind of run circles around him once he gets going. So if there is a 1v1 scenario, there's going to be a lot of lanes that Elise can opt to gank, because there's a lot of stuns, CCs, and even kill potential in really all of them. But I think he will be aiming to snowball Quas.
Yeah, Quas. I mean, he's scary on Aatrox and Renekton, but those champions have like really good early games. And when you think about Tryndamere, I don't think the game gets any worse for him as it progresses. So we'll have to see how that late game works out for NWE. I think another thing to watch out for is going to be Shouster's Twisted Fate. You mentioned the CC out of all of the lanes, and especially when you combo that up with the cocoon from Elise from the jungle, he's always going to have something in the lane that he ganks to help out his ganks, make them even more effective. It's going to be up to the roam from I guess the ZZ Legendary to either bully Twisted Fate in lane. Even with that Twisted Fate, could see some 2v1s. Do you think these are team compositions where we're going to see standard lanes, or is there anyone that you really, really just want a 2v1?
I think the big key here is going to be to try and lock down the 2v1s against the Tryndamere, because he's a champion that you don't want really in a 1v1 because of the potential he has to get going. So even more reason for Complexity to opt for a 2v1 scenario. I think NWE wants to play it heads up, though, so we might see some clever little mind games around the wards to try and say, I'm going bot, but I'm going top, and see that between the duo and the top lanes. That would be their best bet. but it's going to be up to whoever, I guess, has the right mind games level on.
All right, so I think that's going to do it for our analysis here. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it's New World Eclipse taking on Complexity Academy. We'll have myself and Nintendo X calling all the action for you when we get back. A little bit of a shout out to our sponsors, iBuyPower, Razer Academy, and Fatality Gaming Gear. And if you guys want to help support us as well, you can head on over to mcsesports.com/tips and leave us a little bit of a comment, donation for anything that you want said or heard on air, and we'll be sure to oblige that as long as it's marginally reasonable. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, MCS continues with Complexity Academy versus NWE. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mobafire Challenger Series. I want to welcome you to probably the most important part of the game. That is the pause to start things out. It's probably the intense action that we're going to see for the rest of the game. But you want to introduce myself. I am Rapid. Joining me is a special guest commentator, the jungler for Team Coast, Nintendo X.
I'm just so excited to see all these amateur game pauses. I think that's the best part, is the pause that always occurs right here at the beginning of the game. Really excited.
It's a little bit of an emerging meta for the amateur scene. You pause at the beginning, and that way it gives you some mystical advantage that the LCS teams haven't picked up on yet. So we'll have to see if this is a trend that migrates to them. I know Team Coast very fond of their pauses, so you guys have picked up on this one.
Yeah, LCS kind of doing their job too well right now. They're kind of keeping on the players too much, so like there aren't any issues before the game. So it kind of makes it hard to go into a pause as the game starts. So yeah, it's kind of an issue in the LCS.
Yeah, well, we haven't quite supplied everybody with iBuyPower PCs yet. If we had, we wouldn't have to deal with these pauses. But you know, we can't all be so lucky to be sponsored by such an amazing company. So just thought I'd throw that out there. So interesting to see very quick buys. Quas going Doran's Shield start. Pretty much the same thing from Dragon Rouge's Zac. A little bit interesting to see him go for something that blocks damage coming out from auto attacks. It's up against the Zac that's primarily magic damage, but it's going to give him sustain in lane, especially if it goes into a 2v1, which I guess he's kind of expecting with that. Do you think that's the reason for the Doran's Shield, or does he just want extra sustain and health in lane?
It's just a safe buy. I think Doran's Shield is kind of becoming like the de facto item for top laners here. After the recent buffs to it, which I kind of forget what they were. I just know the cost was reduced, and I think the numbers got switched around a little bit. It's a very strong item for top laners. Especially since you can't really stack pots anymore. It gives you the nice health regen per 5, gives you the health. And the damage block is actually pretty disgusting too with the defensive tree. So I see most top laners opting for that.
Yeah, especially if you spec 21 defense, you're blocking like 15, 16 damage from champions every auto attack. It's a little bit dumb. And even though it no longer gives armor, it still gives you full 100 health. You can start with a health potion as well for 150 regen, and 10 health regen per 5 is a little bit dumb. So just picking that one up for sustain. See, NWE very fast buys, very fast, or very quick to get out of their base, or at least that's where they were going when the game was paused. Let me see if there's any sort of update. Apparently, Maroom is having a little bit of lag here, so he's going to be able to hopefully remedy that in the near future, because as fascinating as discussing pause time at the beginning of the game is, this is why we brought you in here for comedic relief, Nintendo.
Absolutely. I think Maroom's making a huge mistake. He's calling lag before he actually dies. As we all know in the amateur scene, you're supposed to die first and then call lag. I mean, that's the only reason you die anyway, is lag. So he makes a crucial mistake. So that way when he dies sometime in this game, he won't have that excuse. It will already be fixed. He's going to have to be quick on his toes.
And we can already see some benefit for having Nintendo on the cast. Super fun time, yay. And chat says, Nintendo's voice is like smooth dark chocolate in my ear. So I've never once gotten that compliment. So it's good to have that quality here with our casting. And
Yeah.
it looks like the pure power of your smooth, dark, chocolatey voice, Nintendo. It has unpaused the game on its own. So nice to see you're using your powers for good.
Yeah. Being compared to dark chocolate. Yeah, that's not the first time. Anyway, on to the game. Take it away, Rapid.
All right. Thanks for that wonderful segue. Quad, leading the charge for New World Eclipse up towards the river. He's going to be in that highly contested banana bush around the side there. Sees DKBnet walking around as well. So it's the NWE. I think both teams kind of have eyes on one another right now. Nothing too sneaky going on, at least for the early part of this level 1. But it's a 5-man with Maroom in the back. Recently reconnected, so that's pretty cool. They're going to get into the jungle. I'm actually going to hit J to jump to live. Apparently that bug is back, and so am I. All right, cool. We're going to see NWE 1 deep ward, and then they're just going to go ahead back on out. Now Nintendo, as a jungler, rather on Team Coast as a team, are you a big fan of deep wards, or do you like the shallow wards more?
Deep's always better. The deep wards it gives you sight on the enemy jungler. It just kind of keeps track, and playing against deep wards is very painful because laners get to the point where if they can track your jungle route, they can kind of anticipate when you're going to gank the lane. So it's not like you don't really see wards outside a lane anymore. You kind of see the deep jungle wards to keep track, and those are really hard to get around just because you need to do your camps in order to level up, and so it allows them to track. And as I say that, another pause comes out. But yeah.
Cool. Well, this time it's easy legendary, so at least Maroom's fixed his issues. So yeah, 2 deep wards in the upper jungle there for NWE. And really not a lot of deep warding coming out from Complexity Academy. They really just dropped shallow wards, so you're going to play it very defensively. But already you can see them setting up for that 2v1 versus Quas's Tryndamere. And I'm actually thinking that it's actually kind of interesting to see Quas, he's kind of prepared for that 2v1 with the Doran's shield, and isn't he actually like rotating lanes in the, predicting that. So should actually have Maroom back in the game. Apparently he's pulling cables out from behind his computer, which can only lead to good things right now. So
Absolutely.
I'm not sure what to expect here, but it can only be something that will get us unpaused even more quickly.
It's got to be one of those cables causing the lag. He's just got to find out which one.
Well, I mean, unplugging the lag cable is always a good thing to do, so perhaps that's what he's going for. Apparently, Maroom, being asked how to pronounce his name, responds with Muriem. So, Muriem.
Muriem?
I can't do that. That's not possible, so I'm just going to go with Maroom because that's a little bit... Yeah. ZZ Legendary is just like, I thought it was a Maroom, and so apparently everybody's been being trolled quite hard by Muriem.
I cannot see my chat right now, so I'm disappointed. I wish I could see the table talk going on right now.
Really? Well,
yeah.
if you'd like to, you can click the interface visibility icon. It's a little eye in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. You can click chat, and that will actually activate that for you. So.
There you go.
This is a little bit of that secret deep dark shoutcaster black magic that we like to bring out. So, Dragon Rouge takes this opportunity to DC and reconnect. So thanks to him. We have one more player in the game. Now we're just waiting on Maroom to come back. So hopefully that'll help him out.
I'm just amazed I got my chat to work. I'm kind of happy right now.
And now you and I can be in on the secret that the stream chat can't see.
Ooh.
We can.
They're saying very mean things about the Twitch chat right now.
I know. They don't like them. They're asking them to lower their dongers. How dare they?
Ooh.
That's a
Looks like we got a ready, go, and yeah coming out. Hopefully that means we'll be starting. Hopefully.
This is where we count the number of seconds to our next pause.
Yes.
We're gonna get everything unpaused and the game back underway. Finally, things can actually start to happen that we can talk about, which is basically why we're here, essentially. Possibly.
I was hoping we get like one of those like factory signs at like this many minutes since last pause, like since last injury. I think MCS needs one of those.
Yeah, we have Bird on the camera for tonight, so I'll have to get him to throw up a time since last pause ticker. That should be action-packed as the game progresses. But speaking of action, very deep ward once again, placed there by Xanos and DKBnet up in the top lane. And we've seen a lot of top laners in 1v2s just say, you know, screw it, I'm not going to be able to do anything early game anyway, just like take down Wolfcamp or something. But the auto attacks having their damage reduced already. See the effectiveness of that Doran's shield by. But everything else just kind of standard lanes. It's a 2v1 versus Zac. And who do you think wins this 2v1, Nintendo? Is it going to be the Tryndamere or Zac?
It's all going to come down to the junglers, and when junglers get involved, I think it's going to have to go to Elise and Tryndamere, and Mashme's probably yelling in the background. But yeah, it's going to come down to, I think, Elise or Nocturne, whoever can make the play. Looks like Nocturne's coming for a gank mid right now, though.
All right, either a gank or Invade is going to be going around the long way. Keep in mind, he does have that ward, knows exactly where End Promiseri is, so going maybe for the counter gank as End Promiseri coming back towards the middle lane. It's actually going to reveal himself, going on to Shousters. No initiation, just kind of pushing Shousters out of lane right now. And End Promiseri coming in from behind, possibly get in there for some damage. Now just kind of holding the lane as Shousters forced to take the long scenic trip back to lane. Now Doom Trouble coming in from behind, ganking the jungler, but the repel enough to get him out of that tether. Gold card about to be locked. It only lasts for 4 seconds. That's the only 4 seconds he needs. Force the flash out from Doom Trouble. What went wrong there for Doom Trouble, Nintendo?
Doom Trouble made a clever play there. He went around and ganked the TF, but as he came back around, he just kind of ate the cocoon. He actually didn't have a level in W, so crucially he can't block one of the stun spells, so they just kind of locked him up and had to blow his flash. It was a good attempt at the game because he got End Promiseri to follow, but he just crucially stayed for a little bit too long.
Now, is that normal Nocturne build? Do you normally skip the early level in Shadow of Darkness, or is that something you probably should have picked up?
That's, especially when ganking a TF, that's something that I almost think you need to pick up because it's very manly not to, because you're going to be expecting a stun to the face as part of the escape. And it helps you get your tether off better too. As I say that, at least he's coming around for a gank here.
Yeah, going all the way behind DKBnet, waiting for the cocoon either onto Xanos, but immediately the cleanse. You can see the effectiveness of that. DKBnet wanting to go in for the last hit, first blood. The manly Twitch getting that out there, but Xanos forced the flash out there away from Quas. DKBnet, man, he saw that coming as the future side on, able to get in there, and Quas a little bit godlike, helping him out there, picks up the kill for himself, so, you know, it's still kind of worth in that top lane.
It's actually kind of painful right now because I can't appear to see when summoners are up or down because I know somebody flashed there, but all the summoners are still up for me.
That is difficult. Yeah, DKBnet and Xanos both have all their summoners down. So that's, maybe they'll refresh when they come off cooldown. But Quas popped Ghost and Ignite and was able to pick up a kill there. So goes back to base, picks up Boots and a Longsword. Probably going to be a Vamp Scepter in the near future. Potion there as well to help him in that 2v1, but he's going to be going up against Twitch, who also picked up a kill, has that Vamp Scepter already completed. So he making his way back up to the top lane. Every other lane not really having too much going on. Bottom turret will fall. That's actually kind of impressive because with the new patch 3.10, it makes turrets incredibly hard to take down before the 10-minute mark, or before the 8-minute mark, as they do have a ton of bonus armor. But taking it down at the 5-minute 30-second mark, I don't know if teams like Cloud9, they were feeling the pain when they heard about the turret changes. But I mean, even still, NWE will take it down super early, so not completely prevented.
It's kind of noteworthy there that Nocturne actually didn't go down to help Zac, so maybe they have a plan that maybe this is okay for Zach. We want more minions to flow in deeper, so it's going to be harder if they want to switch back. And as to say that, they're going back in on top lane again.
Yeah, top lane Quas is like, it's a benefit to have a 2v1 for him because that way he just baits people and overextending the damage. DK BNet, not sure he necessarily expected that. Now it's Zano's getting in there. He's going to pick up the kill onto Quas. Revenge is there. But will we see the Cocoon land? Not going to hit onto Zanos. Would have been a kill off the back of that, but we're going to have Twisted Fate. The teleport under the turret. Gold card lands, and we'll be able to pick up those double buffs. Shousters making the plays, getting out alive. Okay, getting out alive. I was worried about those minions there for a second. But yeah, Shousters safe and Probosiri safe as well.
I wasn't too sure about taking that barrier as a summoner spell, but it works out perfectly for him. Worked just perfectly. He went to dive the turret, barrier blocked the tower hit, and he lives with like 70 health. We
also had a cloth armor as well, so just built for turret diving early on, and also to itemize against that ZZ Legendary Zed. So interesting itemization for Twisted Fate, the summoner spell as well, working out, but that means with all that pressure top lane, turret will go down, and early turret pushing, something we thought was dead with the new turret armor in patch 3.10, 2 turrets before the 8-minute mark, or NWE, they're just going to trade that away for the early dragon. It will be Complexity Academy able to take that one away, but with a 4-man push in the top lane, NWE are not stopping. They have 4 people here, and now it's Quas pushing out the mid. So excellent rotation, going for another early turret push. It's going to be up to DK BNet and Zanos to stop it.
And something definitely to look at here is NWE, outside of Quas, they're all range champions. And they also have Caitlyn and TF. Noteworthily, they're very good for turret sieging, so I think that's going to be their plan. They're going to keep sieging turrets. They have good CC, good poke, and they're probably just going to send Quas into another lane. Except for right now, it looks like they're all going to barrel down mid.
Yeah, they're just kind of returning. They're like, wait a second, you guys are supposed to be coming from the other side of the turret. NWE showing up 5-man mid, and well, it will be eventually. And going in for that turret, it's going to be up to Complexity to try to push them off. Turret dangerously low. The auto attacks continuing to come out. Range support, range jungler, both helping them poke that down. All 3 turrets gone for Complexity Academy by 8 minutes. So early turret pushing still alive.
They're all gone by 8 minutes, so looks like Riot's going to have to make outer turrets immune before 8 minutes if they really want to let them survive. But no, that's really just good rotation there by NWE. They just sent like 4 people with each turret. It was actually pretty perfect, and all Complexity Academy could get out of it was a dragon, but as they say, dragons respawn, turrets don't.
Yeah, that is what they say. I believe I myself may possibly have said that on quite a number of occasions, so it appears as if you're taking your shoutcasting tips from the best, so I wholeheartedly approve of this.
Oh, maybe. Really? I don't remember Freak saying that.
Well, that's interesting. Well, moving on. I do believe there are more important things to discuss besides great shoutcasters. And Freak concluded, of course. But Maroon pushing out the middle lane. He's basically the only person in lane now. NWE basically just like, okay, we took down 3 global objectives. We go back and pick up some items. Abra's Blade is the buy there for Tryndamere. You'll see an early Seeker's Arm Guard, Twisted Fate, wanting that itemization, I guess, against Zed in lane, but really laning phase broken incredibly early. And I guess I can ask you for some professional guidance on this one, Nintendo. When Coast has tried the early turret push, what do you do when you have all 3 turrets down so early on in the game? I guess the answer is gank DK BNet, the ultimate from Twisted Fate. Actually gonna get in there, view, make him visible. He actually is out of range. The Twisted Fate ult goes off. The Billsbar Cutlass able to get himself a little bit of peel. The flash over the wall. Shousters able to take him down. The slow's coming out onto Zanos, or will they? No. Doom Turbo shows up to push them off. So back to the question, Nintendo, what do you do when you take down all 3 turrets so early?
I'm scared to answer that. Anytime I'm about to answer, something happens, and something's happening again.
Maroon takes the Death Mark, blocks it out with the passive there, or the Summoner spell. Barrier helping him out. There's the ultimate as well, getting blocked by Doom Turbo. He takes it even though it was not necessary. The double kill for and Probosiri lands a Cocoon. Follow-up from Shousters. 3 kills right off the back of that aggression top lane. All 3 members low for NWE, but still alive. I mean that, bottom lane, MeWee's clearing out the wave. It gets the fear down at the last second. Was trying to clear the wave and get the fear to kill off Dragon Rouge, but he did have passive up even still, so it would have been really difficult. MeWee tried to make the plays, but unfortunately not quite able to pick that up. And meanwhile, mid lane, Shousters, one more auto attack, and it's DK BNet to turn the tables there in that middle lane. So basically everybody is dead or out of lane, Nintendo. I feel as if you're basically safe to respond.
I'm not safe to respond.
No, it's not Quas. He's walking on top of DKB. Okay. Oh. Anticlimactic. All right.
Now that everybody's dead, I guess I'll answer your question.
All right, go for it.
I guess the answer is just, just run at everybody and kill them. If that's seems to be NWE's plan right now, but they're probably just gonna get good ward coverage down, I'd assume, in the enemy jungle right now to prepare for the next dragon, which they probably don't have the exact timer on, but probably a rough timer. And they're just gonna continue to keep lanes pushed, probably split apart from Quas, and just continue the siege.
Yeah, kind of relying on that Tryndamere for split push, something he did as AP, still does as AD. That will be kind of what Quas is going for. He's probably going to look for that, what is that, Static Shiv coming out first to get himself a little bit of AoE to help push down the lanes. But as is, kind of the lanes getting pushed out by Complexity Academy, as NWE once again kind of grouping up there in that middle lane. Interesting to see Tryndamere actually going to join them instead of going for the split push. It's a little bit of a CLG kind of style, getting the AD carry to split push as the rest of the team groups up. Quas going in onto Dragon Rouge. There's the gold card. The Cocoon actually missing there from Promissory. Fear down onto Doom Trouble. The CC is a little bit stupid here for NWE. They basically just like stun locked Dragon Rouge for like 8 seconds. So fairness at all points in this game for NWE. They're still going for that straight up push down the middle lane. Caitlyn gonna be putting some damage down onto that secondary turret bottom. So really, Nintendo, I mean, we talked about, the advanced ward coverage. You can see all.
Oh, and I was muted when I was
okay,
saying
see,
something.
I was like,
special.
Okay.
That is, I am special right now. Okay.
Yeah, it says Secret Shoutcaster Micro.
Yes. I've been informed that I was muted.
All
I was
right.
gonna say NWE is doing a good job of pushing multiple lanes. Then I'm talking again, and Miriam's getting ganked.
This is a good way to heat up the action. It's like if there's ever a pause, just get Nintendo to start talking. Doom Trobo unable to get the fear off cooldown. Still wants blood here onto Maroom, steps on a trap. That's going to be slightly difficult. Twisted Fate ulting bottom lane, goes for the kill. He's going to get the stun card. There's the Shroud of Darkness, able to keep himself from getting stunned out down there. Both teams going in, blowing all of their ultimates. So with those on cooldown, back to Nintendo.
NWE just going to continue the split push. Quas just being a pain top lane right now. As I pray that I can end the sentence before another fight breaks out.
I mean, everybody is kind of moving up to react to that Quas split push, but not going to be fast enough. The early turret push, pretty effective there for NWE, but even the mid-game turret push calls it effective, and that will be the secondary turret in the top lane, 4-0 for NWE.
Yeah, it looks like Complexity Academy is just kind of trying to run around and stop everything that NWE is doing right now, and they're not having too much success with it. They really got to look for a power play of their own, since there's still 3 outer turrets up, and they could push any of them. They honestly have a pretty good dive squad with Zed, Zac, and Nocturne. It's just a matter of them actually making the play and not reacting to the split push.
Yeah, just kind of playing NWE's game. When you put down that much pressure early on, it really is going to put the pressure onto the enemy team to react to that. And really, Complexity haven't really found how to do that. They know Dragon's up, so they're like, all right, lanes are pushing, turrets getting taken down, whatever. Dragon's still something good that we should try killing. They're going to go for that. NWE don't actually care. They're just going to give that away. They recognize they're still ahead in the global goal by about 4,000 right now. Giving out a Dragon away to Complexity Academy will even that up just a little bit, but all in all, still turrets, like the wisdom that Nintendo was giving us earlier, that dragons respawn, but turrets don't, so in that respect, NWE is still ahead.
Wait, did a dragon just happen?
Yes, a dragon
Yes,
did
Complexity
just
Academy just took it. I'm sorry, I spaced out for a little bit.
It's okay, I approve of all Team Coast strategies, spacing out not excluded, so it's going to be DKBnet backing out from his own jungle. Same thing for the rest of the team. Everybody but ZZ Legendary off the map right now. See Dragon Rouge top. Really, I mean, what do you do now? Okay, so you've pushed down all these outer turrets. You have D-forts in the jungle. Do you try to, let Tryndamere split push and then group in a side lane, or you just go for more 5v5 team fights knowing you're stronger and have more global gold?
I think they're content just kind of splitting, just keeping the pressure on the turrets. It's okay if they can't quite get them. So right now they're just looking for levels, and they're going to get to a point where that they can do Dragon with 4 people and have Tryndamere split push, and DKBnet's going on Miri.
He's trying to get that assassination, but there's Tryndamere from behind. Blade of the Ruined King gonna get one last tick. Maroom gonna have to lifesteal. Will the auto attacks be enough? No. It's taken down the 1v1, or 1v2, actually kind of traded out 1v1 for DKBnet. ZZ Legendary down to the bottom lane. Quas just like, look, you want to step? I don't think so. The initiation, though, on to me when he gets blown apart.
Oh
ZZ Legendary taking him out there. It's going to be Quas. Exhaust goes down. Is it going to be enough? Gets knocked up. CC'd. Undying Rage. Not quite so undying. That will be a 3-for-1 exchange off the back of a Twitch initiate. So Twitch is now an initiator and winds up making things 3-for-1. I mean, I guess that's the way it works.
It's interesting how that fight started out with what looked like a Caitlyn bait. I think he knew that the Twitch was coming. I just don't think Quas could quite react in time to save Caitlyn. It was a smart little play, but Caitlyn ended up dying in the end, and then just chaos broke out. And NWE took another turret off of it, but looks like ZZ Legendary will get their first turret of the game. Yeah. So it's a good counter. And all in all, I think Complexity Academy comes out ahead there. And they only have a 3k gold difference in they're down 4 turrets, which is actually, it's nothing to freak out about.
So first turret of the game going down. Also 2 dragons in their pockets, so the global gold not totally out of control here for Complexity. See, they're actually grouping top lane to stop the split push from Shousters, actually even maybe going in for a split push of their own. I can't actually speak, but it's Quas now pushing down the middle lane as we'll force at least Dragon Rouge to go back to try to stop him. Shousters rather. Top lane trying to stop this split push. Now only DKBnet getting that down. Doom Trobo, no paranoia up for about another minute. Will Shousters be able to stop this push? Doom comes in from the side of the action on to Xanos middle lane. Quas spins to win, picks up the support. A little bit overextended, but now the damage top lane. Doom Trobo overextending. The repel going to keep the fear from going off onto End Promise Theory. The flash, the damage, the TF ultimate just to get down the lane. There's the last auto attack. It is empowered by the stack deck. End Promise Theory taking a lot of damage, but it's the 1v2. An instant cleanse out there. DKBnet with a shutdown, and now Shousters having to back on out. Twitch with the 1v2s. DKBnet fairly strong at this point in the game. Fairly strong at this point in the game.
Yeah, I was muted again. Cool. You queued me in, but I missed it. I'm sorry, Raptor.
It's okay.
But yeah, it all started, I think, with Nocturne trying to dive the TF, and they didn't see Elise hiding in the bush. So they baited Nocturne. I'm forgetting my character names again. Nocturne got baited in. It ended in a 1v1, 1-for-1. In the end, we have a pause. All
right, yeah, really, the real result of that engagement was the fact that a pause is going out right now. So this is where we get Nintendo to like recite poetry or something until it happens, because that would basically force the game to unpause almost immediately. MeWe this time around with the disconnect.
MeWe, of course. He did die about 1 minute ago, so maybe he may be able to play it right and come back and just be like, "Whoa, what happened, guys?"
Yeah, apparently it's actually not only MeWe, but Maroom as well having some issues down there for the bottom lane, fraught with adversity here in this game. NWE still ahead. They're up 2 kills, up 4 turrets, probably the biggest steal, as they have taken down every turret top and middle, just looking for that last surviving turret bottom to close things out for taking down all outer turrets. And interesting to see, we haven't seen too much pressure from NWE bottom lane to take down that last outer turret. They are going for a lot of split push, and with as strong as Quas is right now, Blade of the Ruined King for him, it's just an Infinity Edge rush for Caitlyn. Double Blades of the Ruined King actually for Complexity Academy. Do you think is Blade of the Ruined King ever something you build on Caitlyn, or is it just Infinity Edge or die?
I don't think it's an item that you necessarily want to build on Caitlyn, because she's not a character you really go forward with, and if you did get caught, I don't think Blade's going to save you. She operates from a distance that's higher than the Blade of the Ruined King active, so it's generally not something you want. Even though Tristana can kind of work the same way in Kog'Maw, they both kind of have their ways of walking forward and attacking. They kind of kite back and forth. Caitlyn is pretty much just poke, and she operates, she goes backward in a team fight. She doesn't really have any avenue to kind of work her way forward like the other two do. So Blade of the Ruined King, not really on her. You pretty much have to go Infinity Edge or a BT for early sieging. That's what we're seeing there, it looks like.
Yeah, and we actually saw the BT for early sieging in our last game. Sai the King bought that on his Caitlyn for Curse Academy. It was relatively effective. I don't think the bottom lane was really the issue there in the last game, but no Infinity Edge just yet for Maroom. Even though they did go for that early tower pushing, they didn't really have time to build a Bloodthirster to get it done, and still were able to take down 5 turrets so far. It's only 18 minutes in. Really not a whole lot of action. 3 people down here bottom lane for Complexity Academy, all looking to get on to Maroom's juicy split pushing 80 carry self, and really nothing too bad happening. I think we should be good to go for Nintendo to talk once the game unpauses. I'm not seeing a whole lot of action right now.
Not yet. We could see Nocturne just ult for no reason, just to interrupt me. That would be rude, but I wouldn't put it past him. I do feel that I'm going to get interrupted the second I start making any decent conversation and feel like I'm making any headway. So I'm going to try and keep it to a minimal.
All right, well,
I'm not muted, am I?
no, you were. I
Okay.
was just caster trolling you. It's the most effective. I have to think of some way to pass the pause time.
Trolling? I don't like trolling. What is this?
I don't understand. Perhaps I should look it up on the interwebs. I feel like they may have guides or descriptions of how exactly one does the trolls. Doom Trobo is asking us how chickens are made. I'm a little bit confused about that topic myself. Perhaps during the course of this pause.
Children's?
Children's? Oh, I could
chickens.
see. The D from the children's was actually on top of the white progress bar for the despawn of a ward. So that was made it seem like a C for chickens, and I was
quick thinking, Rapid. You're good. You should play in the amateur scene. You can get those excuses out like the lag. And there's the XP bar and the war, and nice.
I too will one day join the ranks of the challenger scene. As is right now, I'm just challenger tier casting. So
yes,
that's as much as I can do all at once. Apparently, the advice from ZZ Legendary to Maroom is to pull the cable 5 more times, and that's exactly what he needs to do. Maroom is somewhat skeptical about this, as is somewhat understandable. But
of course, the first option, the trouble fixes. Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? That would be my best advice.
I feel as if to make Nintendo a better player, I should try turning him off and then turning you back on again. I think that might result in more effectiveness. Have you tried that as a team code strategy, just like simultaneously turning everyone on? Or does that just happen naturally for Nintendo?
What are we talking about here, Rapid?
Effective
I need an adult.
Effective strategies at getting things to start working.
I think I need an adult. I'm not safe with this conversation we're having.
Oh, okay. Well, I can completely sympathize needing an adult. I've kind of had that need all game long.
Is there a reason that you're casting in a van right now, Rapid? Please respond.
Incapable of responding. Casting has degraded to this point. Apparently, we're now discussing AD Malzahar supports and the effectiveness there, and will MeWe be bringing out that in the near future. I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but I'm not sure what's going on right now. Having pause times of this length and magnitude are sometimes difficult to handle.
ZZ Legendary, I think they're discussing secret strategies for worlds that teams are telling them. I can definitely see the surprise Poppy Heimerdinger pick in the jungle.
Jungle Heimerdinger.
I think Season 3 worlds.
I mean, there's all sorts of cheese out there. What was the cheese I saw the other day? It was, Skarner Jungle. At the end of the game, a fine upstanding member of Twitch chat asked if the Skarner, which team lost, and the analysis from my co-caster at the time, Malphus X, was the team with Skarner, as if blaming that pick solely on the loss. That's difficult, but right as we get to the good part of the conversation, the game unpauses. Maroom somewhat laggy, but now beset from all sides. Dragoner's getting the slowdown. This is the flash death mark. Completely
I told
necessary.
You, Rapid. I told you if I started talking after the pause, something was going to happen. We didn't think it would, but Dragon Rouge just flies over the wall, makes something happen, and a kill comes out.
Plays from out of nowhere. Just Nintendo making it possible. All this and more. Kills sponsored by Nintendo. It's a good thing to have you here.
What would you do without me?
I could probably answer that question, but doing so on air would probably not be very good for the longevity of either one of our careers. Though I do hear relegations coming up, so I could be relegated out of my casting career. That's what I was referring to there.
Yep. The pros can get relegated out of their playing, and the amateurs can get relegated out of casting. That's how it works, obviously. It all comes for a full circle.
The circle of casting. It's I feel as if I should have probably watched that movie before referencing a quote from it. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Shoutster's now split pushing bottom lane. Quas split pushing in the mid lane. And really the only question left for NWE is which lane can they split push? And the answer is probably top lane, which they're probably not going to do. Quas going once again on to Zados. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the exhaust. Summoner spell. Too strong. People just kind of walking by Quas. Nobody really wants to fight him right now. And Complexity Academy trying to hold their bottom turret as well. Now Maroom and the rest of NWE kind of grouping. 4-man push bottom lane. Split push in the mid for Quas. Rotate down there and help him out.
Yeah, nobody really wants to deal with Quas. Zach just kind of walked away from him. Just kind of walked for him to get away from him as fast as possible. And he knows he's, you know, I don't want to say unkillable, but very hard to take down. And nobody's going to 1v1 him, so they're going to have to send multiple people at Quas. I'm a little bit surprised that he wants to come bottom. I think he could just go top and just kind of be a terror up there.
We actually saw Doom Trobo push the wave all the way to their secondary turret. Nobody really going for that. The turret falls. Doom Trobo, though, going in with the Paranoia ultimate. So much damage on the Maroom. The dive through the team, just nobody peeling for the AD carry, and to be honest, a little bit rough to peel for it. Now Dragon Rouge dangerously low. Wasp pretty low himself, has not ulted, gets to last it. But the revive passive up even still. Only Doom Trobo the one to die for Complexity Academy. And will you be able to see the death? No, Dragon Rouge though with the flash out. Zon is there. Quas spinning in, throws down the Undying range. The Doom Trobo the Dragon Rouge reinitiates. Somewhat skeptical, but DKB, the last auto attack, able to pick things up. Just the tip of that venomous dart, able to take down Quas.
And NWE is getting kind of reckless with their engages. Complexity Academy just kind of jumped past Quas and Miwi, who were kind of just fooling around by the side of the turret across that wall, and they just had Nocturne and Zac just go in. And it was kind of like a 5v3 engage, and Quas had to play a little bit of catch up and didn't get that much damage off in the fight, and Twitch just played it really well. They're going to have to be careful with that Twitch, as he's getting pretty big, and he has Blade of the Rune King. That's not going to be fun to deal with as a fed Twitch.
Alright, yeah, it doesn't even matter how fed you are. It's going to be Maroom walking in 3v1. Dishing out some auto attacks. Nobody really wants to fight that for Complexity. Maroom somewhat overextending there. I feel like that would have been a somewhat dubious decision to make. But knew she had the backup from the team, so, you know, is that something that Team Coast relies on? Is it just like, hey, you can overextend as long as you've got backup? Or do you kind of frown upon that? Because I know that has been something that's been happening to Coast in quite a few of your games.
Yeah, overextending is never good, necessarily. You're going to want somebody to back you up, but if you can get an objective out of it, like, honestly, NWE's been doing some silly overextending, but they've taken turrets out of it, which has been good. But because they've been dying to silly things, even though they've gotten objectives, they only have, like, the gold lane's shrinking. It's less than 2k right now, and it was at, I believe, 3k earlier, and now it's only down to 2k, because they got those 3 dragons. They just gave them up to Complexity Academy. And as to say that, Zac looks like he's going down.
Yeah, it does look like the initiation, the engage. Bottom lane, Maroom, once again, the peel just non-existent. Now just the dives. DKB net just stomping through the entire team. NWE is just like, okay, it's limbo time. Let's all stand in a line, and then let's Twitch spray us down 2-0. Huge engage coming out there from Complexity Academy, and starting to turn things around. NWE, the early turret pushing, the 4-turret lead is pretty cool and everything, but it doesn't actually matter when you just like group up for a Twitch ult.
Yeah, they got to figure out this split pushing a little better, because they're getting engaged on when Quas hasn't quite built the wave up top far enough for it to be worth it for them to die in that fight. There's a big wave top that's just waiting for Twitch to reap right now, as he got that kill in the fight, so he's going to get even bigger. If they waited like maybe 30 more seconds for Quas to keep pushing, they could have maybe ditched that fight and maybe like done a sneaky play where Shao TPs up and pushes with him also, and kind of done some kind of race scenario, which honestly they'd lose to a Lich Bane, TF, and Tryndamere, but they're just kind of getting caught off guard, and they're honestly kind of being really lazy right now, and they need to pick it up.
Yeah, they definitely picked it up for the early part of the game, taking out 4 early turrets, but then they dropped it, and really the punishment for dropping it is just continuing to drop it, because that's probably what you did, and you should probably admit that quite a few times. Doom Trobo though, stepping on a trap.
I appreciate the deep reference.
Oh, it's effective, yes?
Yes.
Challenger tier casting.
You know I can relate. Oh,
I-
you.
Oh, you. All right, well, casting outside the van for what it's worth. Doom Trobo back to base, and the split push. All right, now, NW are like, okay, Quas, go split push. Pushes one wave and then comes back to mid. So I'm not sure if that's really the definition of split pushing, but he does want to be there with his team for the team fights. Just, I don't really feel like that's where he is most effective, really drawing somebody away. With that split pushing, it's kind of what NWE, I mean, it's kind of what Tryndamere does, but NWE not really going for that. Is there a reason that NWE aren't splitting right now, that they feel like they have to keep grouped up?
The only reason that I can think of, and it's probably is the reason, is NWE's vision in the top jungle isn't that good, whereas Complexity Academies is pretty good around the Baron area. I think they're going to wait for MiWi to kind of clear wards and ward it up a little bit better before they split push top. But really, they don't have that many wards on the map right now. I count like, looks like the 5th is being placed right now, so the vision's getting better. And I think they'll try and reapply that once Quas feels a little bit safer with the vision.
All right, that does mean that as far as Vision's concerned, they're just going to stay in lane. No Vision on to Twitch. DKBnet going in on him. Maroon the dives once again. ZZ Legendary comes over the wall, but this time, will there be enough heal? The fear goes out, flash as well. Maroon in the very back did not get taken down, but the rest of the team kind of falling apart. Shousters, though, trying to get the TF ultimate immediately on top of ZZ Legendary. Blows him up with the cards. It's actually not looking that good for NWE. They get one kill. Nobody else falling down. Doom Trobo able to escape even still, and they wind up losing Jungler and Quas for that. All Summoners blown and the ultimate as well. Tryndamere did fall. Disengaged from NW. They actually could wind up losing a turret off this push if Maroon overextends or gets dove. A lot of poke damage, but the wave clear strong enough from NWE. Ultimate over the wall. The flash, the fear, it cleansed away immediately. He's still going hard. Throws down the exhaust afterwards. Reduced duration, not enough to take out DKBnet.
And NWE is going to have to change it up now. It's not working. I think Quas is going to have to go full split mode, or they're going to have to kind of use their advantage to some kind of Baron play, because right now they're making the same mistake where Caitlyn has no turret to back up to, Nocturne's just jumping onto her, and Zed jumps on her as well. That fight, Zed didn't even get onto her, but she just got forced out of the fight by Nocturne. That worked perfectly. So the rest would just peel back for Twitch, and there was nothing that Quas could do to stick to Twitch. So they're struggling really hard here, and they're going to have to resort to something different, because the team fight is pretty much over and done with how big this Twitch is.
Yeah, it seems like every single team fight happens the same way. I mean, you expect the Nocturne initiate, but then the Zed sort of, as his dive buddy. Maruam lasts like 5 seconds in these team fights. DKBnet wants to go in here. It comes out of stealth. Chaucer shows up, so immediately backing away. But really, yeah, like you said, DKBnet absolutely monstrous. 8-4 and 2. And I kind of see it sad to see him go from Aware Gaming. He was kind of the backbone, at least, of their bottom lane. And as you would expect the AD carry to be, backbones of the bottom lane. I mean, sometimes supports are the backbones, at least for Cursed Academy. Yunos kind of seems to have the backbone there, especially with Sai subbing in today. But Doom Turbo backing off. No, he does have Paranoia, so he can just kind of turn this around. Quas, though, turning around. And whether he's got the same feeling, is going to be able to get away from there. Heal on up, and pretty strong counter push here. NW, they're trying to push out all in the same lane, but not really working out.
There's a fine line with what they're doing between aggressive and careless, because Quas was kind of in a funky position there where he could have gotten jumped on and died to anything right there, but it's going to be an alright play. It looks like they're going to take a dragon out of it.
Or will they? Or will they? Doom Turbo trying to go in there, gets stunned out, and for the first time in all of the initiations, they're not actually focusing too much onto Maruam. He's staying in the back. Quas now drawing 4 away. Undeniable as Undying Rage will get taken down. DKBnet goes godlike. It's now Dragon Rouge, 0 HP, going in there for the flash, and Shouster is able to pick up the kill. The Zonya's Hourglass for style points. Passive not enough, or is it? Or is it? There we go. All right, Pink Ward just to make sure he's safe back in the brush. The answer is no. Dragon Rouge still looking to get in there, standing on a ward. He can kill him off with wild cards right now. MiWi wants to make the plays, not able to take him out.
Yeah, that fight was a little bit hectic. It honestly worked in NWE's favor because Nocturne couldn't really separate. The Paranoia is best used when the team's kind of split, because then they can't really tell where each other's at, because the whole screen's black. But they all knew they were kind of clumped up, so they knew how to reposition for that fight pretty perfectly. And Nocturne really didn't do much in that fight. even though Zach got in at the same time. So they're able to peel back for Miriam a little better, whereas Quas just kind of aggroed 5 people on him with the Undying Rage on Tryndamere. So that was a good fight for NWE. And I don't think that's something Complexity Academy necessarily needed to fight.
Alright, well, yeah, that will be the first Dragon of the game, actually, going over to NWE. So they're starting to realize, hey, giving these away for free to Complexity Academy, probably not, you know, the best of strategies, especially if they can just kind of, like, walk up there and kill it. So the split push, not something that NWE has done a whole lot this game, but they're starting to bring things back. You can see some items being completed there. It's Haunting Guys actually onto Elise. I see a lot of full tank Elises nowadays, especially in the jungle. You think Haunting Guys is the right buy, or should he be building more tanky?
Haunting Guys is definitely a good buy here, because nobody on the entire enemy team is building magic resistance. And that's going to open up a lot of damage potential for Shaoan and Promissory, who are kiting back with Miriam anyway, so they're honestly going to be doing a lot of damage to those tanks, especially with Elise being damage-based heavy, and Shao just dumping out a lot with the Lich Bane. So I completely agree here with the magic pen. He's just got to be a little bit careful when he gets jumped on, because he is a little bit squishier.
Speaking of a little bit squishier, DKBnet 3 auto attacks and Miriam's down to 400 HP. So she's going to have to get out of here, not actually even able to hit the back button, because the push is very strong here from Complexity Academy. You have split push Tryndamere. Quas just walking on that bottom lane. If Complexity Academy go for the Baron here, you can just full on take that inhibitor. Needs to commit to that. What do you think is the right play here? Complexity Academy are starting the Baron. Do you go for the split push or you try to stop it?
Quas needs to go for the split push. And look at that. There's the play I was talking about. TF's going to go split push with Tryndamere. And they're going to secure the Baron, but at what cost, I would say?
At what cost? The Baron goes down to Complexity Academy. You're looking to take down the bottom turret. Quas just tanking it up. Can the inhibitor get taken out? Do we have home guards? Yeah, 2 home guards and the Zed coming in from behind. The auto attacks. Quas is just going for it. He's like, worth. Now he's trying to piece the scene, tries to take one with him. Xanos, though, dangerously low, wants the cooldown back on his spin, can't get it. No damage over time. Xanos gets out alive, but the first inhibitor of the game, going to that sexy double split push strategy. That was the coast, but was it too high, Nintendo?
I think that works out all right for Complexity Academy, as long as they do a hard siege here, because Twitch is huge right now. He's got like 1,200 gold. And as I say that, he absolutely massacres 2 people. No. Oh. He's gonna die to the poison?
Oh, the poison, yes!
There we go.
Double kill. The 1v3 is happening now. DKBnet 3-shot Maruam. So that's somewhat difficult to deal with. That Twitch absolutely massive. Godlike. Nonetheless, 12, 5, and 2. And after taking down that top inhibitor, it's cool and everything, but the split push from Zed going to keep that from being an issue. And now with a huge switch, not really a whole lot that NWE can do to stop them. And yeah, Complexity Academy pushing in here. First base turret for them goes down. Now the counter initiate. Shouters go in and gets the 2-shot on the Twitch. TF dealing some damage. Quas in there dealing some damage as well. Xanos not long for this world. Throws down the Stranglethorns, or the Grasping Roots rather, on Quas. Stranglethorns as well, spins out of it. Now they're just trying to take down one auto attack. Unstoppable. Shoutster's dealing some damage. And the counter initiate off of that's a little bit strong there for NWE. They do pick some kills off and can prevent the inhibitor from going down. So off the back of that, is it still worth it for Complexity? Taking down that base turret, losing 2 members with Baron.
We'll have to see from the counter push here if it'll be worth it or not. Actually, before that push started, they were down like 200 gold, but now they're up about 2k. So yes, it's still worth it. A little bit careless to die, but they should be okay as long as they can hold off this turret.
Wasp getting a little bit locked up there. Caught out does not, does have his ultimate. All right, so no worries there. Does have unstoppable rage. It's going to be Dragon Rouge, though, bouncing all over things. And Promissory. Now comes the ultimate. Doom Turbo diving all the way to the very back, but no dive, buddy. There's the dive, buddy. Maruam gets absolutely blown apart. Are we going to see the death spin to win? ZZ Legendary takes him out. A triple kill for Zed. Now it's Promissory trying to make a run from that. Shouster's nowhere to be found in that team fight, and without that, if he just like stand back for the back door, I'm not sure what he was expecting, but now he, as one of the only members left alive for NWE, will have to make the defense of the ages here. I mean, I'm pretty sure he can one-shot at least one person, but there's 3 there. One of them was Dragon Rouge, so after that...
Trobo chased Promissory. He's going to kill him. Holy crap.
Did not expect that. Usually you expect it at least to be kind of sneaky, but Doom Turbo, all the right moves, a nice Shroud of Darkness there, and the
game.
Yeah, this is actually game. We have 10 seconds left on the respawn timers for at least Maroon. MeWe now available. The damage coming out. DK beat at. He can't hurt the Nexus because he ulted, but he can hurt Shousters. That's going to have to take him out. Fear there from MeWe. Nexus below half HP. 3 more autos. Game ends. Complexity Academy takes it off the push.
Holy crap, that Twitch.
Yeah.
He was not a force in that last team fight. That was mostly props to ZZ Legendary with the Z there. But that Twitch was just an absolute terror for Caitlyn. He had a lot of good plays, picking him off with the sneaky invisible plays. And it ends the game 13-6-2. Pretty ridiculous.
All right, so yeah, definitely kind of an MVP there, but had some assistance as a ZZ Legendary 9-2-5, no slouch there, and really the dive able to really shut down Maroon in a lot of the team fights. 1-7-5, and then 1-5-2. Bottom lane for NWE kind of having some issues, so they'll definitely have to watch out for that. They're kind of on and off right now. They lost the game to Cognitive, and then they won their last game, losing here again to Complexity Academy. That's a little bit of an upset as New World Eclipse 6-3, Complexity Academy 3-6. So evening up the scores a little bit there, and yeah, definitely an upset for them. So nice to see things not quite just decided by standings just yet. That is going to do it for our 4th game of the evening. It's New World Eclipse losing out to Complexity Academy, who will now be 4-6 in the standings. Moving on up there, almost within range of the playoffs. We will be moving on to our last game of the day, though. It will be Team Tower Dive taking on Reality Check Gaming. Going to be watching out for that one. Actually,
there's no
there's no last game. Wow, Nintendo can read chat as well.
Wow, you got baited.
Wow. All right. So apparently, yeah, Reality Check Gaming, they're either disqualified or disbanded, so they won't be showing up here. So unfortunately, the 5-game day was actually a 3-game day, as Aware did also have to bow out. So that is going to do it here for the night. A little bit anticlimactic. We get Nintendo to cast for what